Okay, welcome back to part two, where we're going to get now into immigration in the United States. We're going to find in this time period, the early 19th century, 1800s, there is a big increase in people from abroad moving to the United States. Last unit, we talked about the California Gold Rush, thousands of people rushing all to California, but this is also going to be widespread across the entire country. Now, in talking about immigration, the largest proportion of people coming to America are going to be from Ireland and Germany. Those are going to be our biggest influx of migrants to the United States. But the question is, why are they coming here? So briefly, these are things you should hopefully remember from seventh grade. Push and pull factors. I'm not going to get too into these two right now, but push factors, what is pushing you out of where you were living? Pull factors, what is drawing you in to where you're trying to go? So in talking about these two groups, push factors for them, there's the Great Potato Famine during this time period in Ireland. So there is a very big food shortage that is going to cause them to have a hard time surviving there. Something similar is happening in Germany, a massive crop failure. So there's a large amount of people without any source of food to survive on, so they need to find somewhere else to live. Widespread poverty, political turmoil. So the push factor here for them to leave, or in this case from Monty Python's Holy Grail, to run away, why are they leaving their homeland? So moving over to pull factors, what attracts people to the United States? It's the land of the free. Freedom and opportunity can be found in America. Far less lower taxes in America versus their homeland. Most European countries still have the idea of a state religion. We talked about that early in the course of the school year. That's why we have religious freedom, because people first came here to escape that. No aristocracy, no rich, wealthy families in charge of running our country. So there's this big pull factor, like the zombies that are searching for your brains to chew on, are going to be rushing to the United States for that very reason. Now, in America, however, many people are distrusting of Catholics, and particularly the Irish that come here. We were founded on as a mostly Protestant nation. Again, go back to the beginning of the school year. That's what was going on here in the United States. In the 13 colonies. You have the Anglican Church. We had people that left England because of that. We had other groups coming here searching for religious freedom. These are different branches of Christianity from Catholicism. Also, the influx of these migrants coming to America, i.e. the Irish, they're willing to work for much less pay and be willing to work longer hours because whatever they get here is way better than what they got back home. But America see this as saying, they're stealing our jobs. How dare these immigrants come here? You look at in the lens of today, 2020, in the 21st century, what group of immigrants do we target as undesirables? Okay, well, now in today's world, that would be Mexicans. But again, look at the conditions they're coming from here coming from Mexico or Central and South America versus here in America. It's better than where they're coming from. And so we have this group called nativists that form. Get this out of the way. Nativists are a group of Americans who believe immigrants threaten American culture and they don't want them here. They even go as far to form their own political party known as the Know Nothing Party. Know Nothing because they're kind of trying to be a secret. They don't want people to know what they're really about. So when you go and ask somebody, hey, what's going on with your party? What's your political view? The joke was that people would respond with, I know nothing, and trying not to let people know what they're really about. But essentially, they are about anti-immigration. They want to limit immigration to the United States. You got this little gif here from The Simpsons. But with all this influx of immigrants, we're starting to see major changes with American cities. We briefly touched on the growth of cities earlier in Unit 7 with growth and expansion, how cities are beginning to develop all across the North. Well, one is because of this influx of immigrants. They need a place to go. They're going to move to these cities. They need a place to work. They're going to provide the workforce for these growing factories in the north. And from the inventions from lesson 1, particularly the farming inventions, we now need less farmers to grow more food. They need a place to go. They're drawn to the cities as well. They're pulled to the city looking for work. So this leads to massive overcrowding. So here's an example of a downtown center in early American history with this overcrowding. We see the streets here filled with people. So with these crowded cities, because of people looking for work in factories and these immigrants, there's a series of problems that develop. Overcrowding, obviously, is one of them. They're going to be very dirty cities because we don't have this idea of sanitation, garbage, utilities such as clean running water. There's going to be widespread crime going on, fires happening everywhere because we don't have those types of protection like we do in today's world. And the biggest problem that's going to come up with all of this is what's known as tenements. Because of this overcrowding, tenements are very cheap forms of apartment where large groups of people can live in almost a single or two family style apartment building. Sorry, one or two bedroom type of apartments. So that is going to be on the rise due to this immigration and the rise of these factories that we've learned about before. So that's it for lesson 2. So I'm going to wrap this up here as a reminder for anything you missed on your questions to be sure to go back and double check them. You can rewind this or part 1 to check those out. And then also to be sure then to answer those study guide questions from your Unit 10 objectives.